You just have to jump. Don't wait to be ready. It's never the right time. Just jump. I did everything before I was ready. I first jump and then I make a plan. I never planned before. Nothing. Everyone didn't believe in the beginning. Wow, real estate, it's not for a religious woman. It's not for you. Just go have a degree. You're dreaming. You're a dreamer. You're an illusion. Everyone. I didn't care. I really didn't care. Because I felt that's the right thing to do and I just jumped. That's it.
Welcome back to the show, Schmoozers. I'm David Khabie, and you're about to listen to another amazing episode of Schmoozing Time, the only podcast inspiring proud Jews to leverage their personal brands. Before we get into the episode, make sure you are following the show on whatever platform you are listening on. This ensures you'll never miss another episode. The best investment that you can make is in yourself. Not in a specific fund or even a degree from an Ivy League school. Nothing really tops investing in yourself. And that's exactly what my next guest did to fuel her success in real estate. After immigrating to America from Israel with little to no money, she had to find a way to invest in herself. With years of hard work and dedication, she turned her company into a multi-million-dollar, multi-family real estate business. She also is an international speaker, podcast host, founder of Empower Foundation, CEO of Rose Capital. Welcome to this week's episode, Chaya Rosenzweig. Chaya, how are we doing today?
That was amazing. I love your pitch. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. You did great.
Thank you. And before we started recording, Chaya and I went into a mini podcast episode, and the day that we're recording this is a very, very sad day in Jewish history, in Israeli history, where the bodies of our hostages were returned, and there was unfortunately a bus bombing. And I'm not one to dwell on negative things often, but it's really hard to keep things going today. And I just want to point that out before we get into the episode. So, Chaya, I feel like an appropriate question to ask you is, you're a business owner, you have a lot going on in your life, you have kids, you have a family, yet these things happen very regularly where stuff in Israel comes up, but you still have to do the work. And it's hard, especially like days today. So I got to ask you, how do you keep going on days like today where there's so much going on in the news and you know that you're going to struggle through the day?
First of all, understanding that it's normal to feel the way I'm feeling, but still I gotta do what I gotta do. And also it gives me this strength and more wanting to spread my mission and the word and the Jewish message even more. Like it gives me this, okay, they're not gonna win. They already did the damage. We're in so much pain, but they're not gonna win my energy and my power and the feelings that I have a mission here and I'm not going to stop. We're so strong. Can you see these soldiers, these Israeli people, Jewish people, how strong they are? And you're like, how people are coming back, hostages are coming back and you're like, they're smiling. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to give up now. No, we can't do that. So that's like one thing that makes me want to push forward and move on. And I feel like we all have a mission, and especially these days, you feel like we're all united. You go out, you feel like everyone is in the same boat. We have to continue this. We have to continue, not only when we're in so much pain. We have to remember this and continue and bring it to our work, to our job. Everyone, it doesn't matter what you're doing and what business you have, you could still bring it. As a Jew, as an Israeli, I go around the world. I deal with not Jewish people a lot, and I feel like that's the part that I have to bring the Jewish message, who we are, who we truly are, our values, our beliefs. And I think it's amazing. I feel like every time I'm doing this, I come back and I'm like, it's more than real estate. It's not real estate. Real estate is just the tool, it's the tool to give me the impact, but it's much more than that. And that's what makes me, feel like wanting to move on and get as far as I can.
Absolutely right with that message. I think, like you said, there's a lot of stuff that happens to the Jewish people, a lot of stuff that happens to Israelis, but we just got to keep going. And I feel like somebody like you, and I know I gave you a brief introduction, but a lot of your story is you just kept going, right? You had a lot of hardship in your life, and you just kept going, kept going, kept going, kept working hard. And really, despite all the stuff that came your way, you overcame it, which is really amazing to me. And I always like to sit down with people that have had a harder time than I have in life, right? Like, thank God I'm still 22. I'm,
You're so young. I didn't know that.
I'm
You're
so yeah,
speaking
yeah,
like it. Oh,
I
wow.
I'm a very young guy, and thank God there's not been anything major that has been super super hard for me in my life, and
It's
I
funny that you're
always
saying that because you sound so developed and so much, you have like strength in you and so much
thank you.
knowledge. How? If you didn't go through, it has to be something there.
Well, I mean, it's really what you see and hear from my knowledge can be attributed to my past guests. Like for example, couple episodes ago, I had on this guy by the name of Adam Swartz, who actually I'm wearing his shirt right now. He started a t-shirt business or started a clothing business called Umbrella Supply. He started it while he was in college, but then he got diagnosed with brain cancer. He's living with two brain tumors,
Wow.
and he's just he is just like hearing him speak about. And by the way, this guy goes to the gym every day. He's working. He's living life to its fullest. And just hearing his story and again, that's just one guest. I've had on millions of other guests. I had on another guest who was a drug addict and on the streets of LA and was addicted to every drug. So for me to sit up here on my pedestal when I'm 22 and have nothing wrong go on in my life, I feel like I need to talk to people kind of like you that have gone through that same adversity. So to answer your question, that's really where it's coming from.
Wow. It's amazing. It gives you so much inspiration and ideas of dreams to dream.
Yes, yes, yes.
Totally.
Kaya, give us a quick rundown of your story. I know I threw a ton out there in the intro. You're an entrepreneur. A you have a philanthropy business. You're a mom of three kids. Like you immigrated from Israel. All this stuff. You have so much going on. So if you can try and give us like a 3-minute summary of who you are.
Okay.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah. So first of all, I grew up to a divorced parents. My parents got divorced when I was 2, and my father moved to America. So I grew up with my mom. I have 5 siblings. Money was always the issue. Always, you don't have a dad. Your mom is struggling. So I grew up to that. I was the youngest, and I was always a dreamer. That's what everyone can tell about me. I didn't like school. I wasn't good in school. I couldn't listen. It wasn't interesting for me, and I used to dream all the time, space out, to dream about things. And as I got older, I went to visit my dad every year. So the minute I landed into America, into New York, I felt like something is happening. I didn't know exactly how to express it, but I felt like, okay, the world could be different. My life could be different at some point. So it opened my mind, but again, it wasn't still relevant. I still grew up with no money and struggling and everything. When I was 17, I met my husband. I wasn't planning on getting married, but I was so hungry and passionate to start life. I was like, I can't do this anymore. High school, I don't like it. I'm not gonna go to do a degree or something like all my other friends did. And when I met Ezra, which is my husband for 13 years, I decided that's it. I want to get married. I want to start my life. I want to start working. I don't know, I want to start. So we got married after 6 months of dating. And then we had after a year, a little bit more than a year, we had our first daughter. And I said, Ezra, it's so hard here. We're struggling. We work 3 jobs a day. I don't know what to do. I keep on getting fired. I used to work another job, another job. Every time they got me fired, I couldn't be under someone. I couldn't just do, I couldn't. I just couldn't do this anymore. And I said, you have an American citizenship. I know a little bit of New York because I used to visit my father. My father is there. Let's try it. Let's just try. He's like, what? You want to just move? I was like, yeah, let's do it. If we're not going to do it now, we're not going to do it. We have to do it now when we're young, when we're hungry. And we just decided to do it. So we landed in New York. I can't even tell you how, we didn't have the language, money, nothing. We just landed. Okay, we're here. Now what? We started looking for a basement. We started from a basement, no furniture. We slept on the floor. We were, Noah was like a year and a half old. It was very, very hard. And then I said, you know what? If we're sacrificing so much, it's not going to be for like in between. It's either going to go so good or nothing. You know, it has only one choice. We burnt
Right.
everything behind. It has to work, and it has to work big time. I didn't know exactly how and when and what, but I had the vision in my head. I had the goal. And again, we started from nothing. We worked anything that just anywhere that just took us. After a few months, I decided that real estate is like always something that interests me. It felt like very safe, very secure, very conservative. You know, I needed the money. And I heard that real estate is for people who are good with people. And that's the one thing that I knew for sure I have. I have good social skills. You know, I always tell people it's good to know what you're good and what you're not. I knew exactly what I'm not capable, what I'm not good, but I knew also what I'm good at. And I said, okay, I'm good with people. I want something conservative and good and, you know, stable. Let's do real estate. So I decided that I want to get the barista license. Now I don't have a language. I don't have the money. What do? I was like, okay, we'll figure it out. My husband's like, go do it. Go do the test. Go through the school. I'll work, you know, double. Just go and do it. Usually when, I don't know if you know, but usually when you go to take your license, take you like a month. It took me a year and a half to pass the test because I had the second baby and I couldn't pass the test because it was English and I didn't know English. So I took private tutoring, you know, I did whatever I needed to do. And I had so many excuses to say, okay, I'm giving up. So many excuses because, you know, I go again and again and again. I remember the secretary of the state testing is like, don't come back. It's not for you. Like, stop. I can't see you anymore. She was joking, but she's like, why are you coming back? I was like, one day I'll be so successful. Nobody's going to ask me how many times did you pass the test. No one cares. You just got to do what you got to do. And I understood that I didn't have the language. It was harder for me, but it's not, you know, it's not impossible. And I passed it and I did great. I was very good at my job. I right away had a job because the first person that was with me before and he already passed the test, already started working, he was very successful and he realized my potential. He's like, I don't want you to be my competitor. Just come work with me. So I had a job right away. I did very well. And then I continued. After 2 years, I was like, okay, it's nice. It's good money, but it doesn't fulfill me. I don't feel like I'm doing something, you know, I have a bigger mission here. And I moved on to investments. I just started to buy like fix and flips, you know, buy small houses, renovate, sell. I did very well, but also then I had so much challenges that I had to go through. I had a contractor who told me for $70,000 that I was, you know, I was new. I was so young. I didn't have experience. And then I have someone that, but I went through this and I did good in the, like, when you understand that all these challenges are here to develop you and to teach you a lesson and you could use it, you can grow so much from it, you take it differently. Now, back then I didn't know, but I decided it's either I go back to bed and like, okay, not do anything and close my business, or I'll show myself that I can handle this, but then everything is going to be possible for me. Like I'm going to feel, you know, like I'm worth it. So I did this, you know, I found another contractor. My husband came to work. I woke up every day, 6 a.m., trying to find more workers in Home Depot. I did whatever I could. The end, the market went up. So I sold the house much more than I thought. So the investor also had profit. We covered it, whatever. But I didn't let it drain me down. I didn't let this break me. And when you have this, you know, goal and you know exactly where you want to go, nothing can break you. No one can destroy. No one can do anything to you. You're just like, you build this, you know, thick skin and resilience where you just move forward. After a few years, I built a very, very nice community of investors that, you know, trusted me and were happy with the results and the service. And I moved on to multifamily. I joined a big company, and that's what we do now. I raised the equity, a lot of equity from all over the world to a big fund, to a big company, and we're doing amazing. And I get to meet so many incredible people that it's much more than just business. You know, you build relationships, you build trust, you help people. You help people also financially, which is amazing. And I always look back and I'm like, wow, I'm so happy I didn't give up. I'm so happy because I had so many chances, so many opportunities to give up. Nothing came easily, nothing. But I feel like when you go with this faith, when you have so much faith that anything is good, even stuff, even now, like the day you see Bebas, you're like, how can it be good? It's not. It's bad. It's evil. I know. But I also live in this feeling that I just don't know. I just don't know. I don't know how and what, but it is what it is right now. And it's my choice how to react to it. if to grow from it and do better and be more united and spread more love to the world, or just like let it break me. And then what? And then what? They died for nothing? No, we have to continue. So if you go with this feeling that you're just doing your part, and your part is your choices, how to react, how to behave, what's your values, then you can go through anything, and you could just grow and bring with you people. That's my goal, to embrace other women, to give them the tools to be successful, to grow, to go through the challenges, to be able to handle motherhood and business and everything they want to do to fulfill themselves. That's the most important part. When you're happy, when you feel like you're doing your part, you're living your destiny, that's the most amazing feeling that you can have. So yeah, it never ends, by the way. Never. You think I got to a point where I'm like, okay, now everything is great? No, because
Never.
the more you are successful and the more you grow and the more money you make, you have bigger challenges.
Right.
Yeah, you have, and then you're starting to get haters and jealousy.
Yep.
And people are like, uh-oh, you're not a good reflection to me. No, you're intimidating me.
Yeah. I mean, I did a lot of research on you. And when I say like I did a lot of research on you, I mean I like stalked your LinkedIn for like 30 minutes and I
Well,
looked
my
at your
LinkedIn is
website.
not so popular. I'm
I know,
more
it's
active on
horrible.
Instagram.
It's horrible. You got to do a better job on your LinkedIn.
I
So
know.
LinkedIn, Instagram, I listened to some podcast episodes. I did not know about the sleeping on the floor part. And I'm sure that somebody listening to this right now is probably laying in their bed right now, listening to this episode and doesn't realize how fortunate they are
Right.
to be like, that's not even like a thing that you think about, right? Like we're like, at least for the most part, like we're very lucky. Jewish people are very, very lucky to be in the position that they are spiritually, financially, etc. Especially in America, we built such a strong community here. And that's not even a thought that crosses 99% of our minds. And it's like,
I agree with you.
it's so
I see my kids. I'm like, oh my God, what, like they have such a different life than what I used to have. And they don't even realize how lucky they are. They don't. They're used to it. So
it's actually just so incredible. And one thing that you didn't mention is that you're also religious, right? Like people probably going into and hearing all the amazing things you do. And not, again, this is not to be stereotypical at all, but typically when you think of an Orthodox woman traditionally, there are a certain group of Orthodox women that are instructed to stay at home. And I'm not saying this to be misogynistic.
that's the reality.
This is the reality. Like,
right.
Trust me, I grew up in a community where I was modern Orthodox, but a lot of my friends were Haredim, like whole, like very, very black hat from whole thing. And traditionally, women are taught to stay home in those communities.
You know what I think?
Yeah, go
in
ahead.
General about the religious world.
You're probably going to answer my question anyway. Go.
I'm going to answer your question, but I don't want to forget what I want to say now, because you are 100% right. But I want to answer. Actually, I'm answering your question right now. A lot of people are asking me this. Oh, how, like, you're religious? How does it work? You're around men all day. You're around the world. Like, how do you do it? Look, the first question, when you die, the first question they ask you when you go up there, when you die. Okay, I'm going to say it in Hebrew and I'm going to translate. Ha'im nasata v'natata be'emunah. Did you live in faith? Did you have faith? Did you believe? They don't ask you, did you wear a yarmulke? Did you shake someone's hand? Did you cover your knees? No. They ask you about faith. And for me, religious is the value. Is the values. More than that, all the other, culture, you're not allowed to do this, fine. I'm not arguing. Anyone can live however they want. But for me, to being religious, I choose to be religious every day. Nobody forced me. I grew up in a house where first comes values. And as long as I'm sticking to my values, I can live like anyone else. I travel the world. I still eat kosher. I do business with all kinds of people. And I'm still myself because I choose to be myself. I choose to have faith and to have, to be religious. And nothing is going to change that. So when you're real with yourself, when you're truthful, and not just like how people, a lot of people are working Hashem as how people see them working. You know what I'm saying? Like how do what other people's gonna think of me? I don't do this. I am real with myself, and
Right.
I try my best to be the best I can. But it doesn't mean I can be out there and do the stuff that I want to do, and you know what I'm saying? So that's it. That's
That's
how people should be. They should be. All the other things are cultural. It's not religious. It's not religion. The Torah, if you go by the Torah, there's so much values there. If people would really understand the Torah, they would be an amazing, amazing, amazing people.
yes.
So
I mean, first of all, not only did you answer my question that I was going to ask you, but I mean, I preach this all the time on my show. Like, I don't believe that wearing a kippah makes you a better Jew than somebody that eats a
it
bacon
doesn't.
cheeseburger. It doesn't. But what I will say is that me personally, I connect to Hashem through to Judaism through its values, like you said.
Exactly.
Some of the values that God gives us, right, is to guide us. And I kind of think of my life now, and after doing so many of these interviews, this is kind of what I've formed, and you could agree or disagree with this. But as humans, we have free will. We can do whatever we want, whenever we want. I'm a big believer in that. So if you're really somebody that's selfless and wants to learn and wants to develop, how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by following someone or something, which is why Judaism is so important to me, because it has that sense of not only following values, but discipline too, right? So the idea of keeping kosher, nobody really knows what it means. Nobody. Only God knows what keeping kosher really means. To God, kosher isn't even a thing, right? God doesn't have to keep
Right.
kosher because we're in the physical world right now. We're getting a little philosophical here. But when you are talking about a human being that's living on earth that has to make a decision between bacon or not eating bacon, the real value comes from making the decision not to do something. And I feel like as someone who's as successful as you, do you think that Judaism helps you with your discipline in not only with your values, but also in business?
100%. 100%. I use it. It's in my blood. That's the way I'm used to thinking and used to act. For sure. For sure. I feel like it's a big advantage that I have this in me, and it helps me a lot, especially in business with people, negotiate everything, every single part of it. For sure. For sure. And that's the main thing, to take this as helping you with your values, with your beliefs, with your how you react to people, how you act. Yeah, it's like also I feel like it helps me a lot with just like acting from a place as someone I can manage my ego. It helps me with managing my ego also, like realizing that it's not about me. I came here, not everything is about me. I came here to do a part, to help others, to bring
Yes.
my message to the world, to bring my value, but it's not about me. So when I face a situation or a challenge, I usually breathe a few minutes before I'm responding to that person who just messaged me and not appropriate or not respectful, whatever it is. And I just try to answer from a place who's like, that's not about me. I don't answer. I don't feed their ego. I talk to their,
Love it.
yeah, to their heart, and it helps so much, so much. So much. So when you're using these values and you're realizing it's not about you, there's God in the world, and you just came to do your part. I call it ishtadlut, You're trying your best, and that's it. You
Yeah,
let go.
I just feel like we're living in a world that's very polarized now, and really the aim with this podcast again is not to sit up here and bash people that don't like us or hate us, right? I think it's kind of inevitable that there are a lot of people, and this is actually kind of crazy to think about when you really sit down and think about it, but there are probably more people in the world that hate Jews, that don't believe in the existence of Israel, than there are Jewish people. And it's just we're outnumbered, unfortunately. But I know for a fact that we, like you said, we have that discipline of, if somebody who doesn't have a face on Instagram messages us and blah, 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 this about Jews or Israel, whatever, don't respond to them. Like, you're just giving them more of
Let
a
them,
voice.
let them hate you, let them talk about you.
Let
I
them
say
be.
it also not as a nation, as an individuals, you know, when you're in business and
Absolutely.
you're doing well and you're growing, especially when you're starting from scratch, from nothing, and you grew yourself. A lot of your friends, a lot of people stay the same. So they're not aligned with your, you know, with your where you are today. They could hate you. You can be a bad reflection to their failures, to their fears, because you made decisions that they didn't have the courage to do. They could have done it. Everyone
Right.
can, but they didn't.
Right.
So sometimes you have this, you know, bad negativity or hate or jealousy. Let them. That's okay. That's okay.
Mhm.
And you know, let them, and I let myself to continue being who I am, continue to be truth to myself, and just do whatever I meant to do. It's bigger than me. I'm in a bigger mission. It's not just about me. So if
Yes.
someone on the way is gonna, you know, hate me, that's theirs. You know, they're allowed to think. They're allowed to have people allowed to have their own opinions.
I could not agree with that more. And I think going back to what you were saying earlier, and kind of like a common theme that I've seen or I've heard through your messages is you talk about it's not always about yourself, right? You do have this very big name in real estate, and thank God you're very successful there. But you also have a foundation on the side. And I want you to talk about what that foundation is and how it helps out women get started in business, whether it's getting started in business or helping them, just motivate them, right? Like, I mean, like just in these couple minutes alone, like you're so motivational. So I can only imagine how much you really help these women. So talk about your organization and your philanthropy of giving back to women.
So I started this a few weeks actually before October 7th, and it was
Okay.
meant to give women opportunities, equal opportunities to rise and shine and grow and just be the best version of themselves. Because I know what is it to be, you know, just starting out and have no knowledge and you don't know anything. I wish it would be someone that just like help me and guide me through this. So that was also always my goal. I was like, I pray to God. I'm like, God, give me the you know, everything, the success, the ability,
Hmm.
the time, the energy, so I can give back, so I can
Right.
bring, you know, more people with me. And that was my prayer, by the way. Give me this because I want to give. I have the ability
Unbelievable.
to give, so just give me. And still my prayer, like He knows, because there were times where I didn't have anything, and I still donated, and I still saw the people that were in need, even though I was also in need. So I showed them, like, look, I'm a great messenger. Give me. I'll pass it on. So I created this, and then October 7th came. So we right away turned it into like helping soldier's wife, and we did an event in Israel where I brought someone who did meditation for them and breathing shop for, and like whatever. It was like a whole event to give them, you know, the power back and some energy and hug them and be with them. And then we sponsored a lot of mental treatment to people who suffered in, you know, the South, and we did a lot of great stuff. But basically, the goal of Empower, which we're doing now, is webinars, free events, giveaways, so they could connect to people. I bring very powerful people in Israel every month to give them a speech, workshop. Every month is a different subject. It could be relationships, networking, business, financial advisors. Every month is a different person, and to just give and give them, you know, opportunities. We don't want them, they're not people in need, they're just people who wants to move on and move forward and get better every day. So they have the tools, and also there's a lot of connections because they meet other people, you know, other businesses. So it's a great community. My goal is to reach every Israeli around the world. It's especially for Israeli women, because a lot of times Israelis who lives in a different countries feel very alone, and they want this. They want to be belong to some community.
Hmm.
They want to have people to talk to. Um, Also, a lot of time they feel like, okay, I moved the country. It's not my language. So how I'm gonna do anything here?
Right.
So it shows them you can use it to your advantage. You can use it.
Hmm.
So listen, I feel like I didn't do much. I want to do so much more, so
Hmm.
much more. I have such a higher goals for this, and I feel like always I'm just starting out with Empower, but that's my biggest you know, passion.
So
That's my biggest strength.
let me ask you, what are your, I mean, you're already doing so much with Empower. Like you said, you're giving resources to Israeli women in need, mental health resources, networking, except like literally anything that you could ask for. And it's, by the way, it's not money, right? Like it's very easy to be like, oh, handing out money to people, which is
I
like what
don't
some
feel
people,
like money will help them. I don't feel
right.
like, because
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything that like I take away from this is although you're doing very well in business, right? What's most meaningful to you is building up Empower and really
because
having the,
I want them to build it for themselves. I don't want them to feel like they're needy or somebody helping
yes,
them. No, they're people that I really want to like get somewhere. So they want to feel
right,
like I did it. They did, like,
right.
I'm just here to guide them a little bit, whatever I can, but it's theirs. And when you do that, you really, I remember times when I didn't have money to go to therapist, and I still found a way to do it because I felt like I could get better. It could help me.
Mhm.
But because I did it, nobody helped me got to where I am. I fought for it. No one is going to no one is going to live life instead of you. You have to take responsibility. When you don't take responsibility, you're not going to get anywhere. It's you, it's your choices. You have to take responsibility when you fall, when you succeed, when everything. It's your choice.
I, I, Kaya, when I usually do an episode, I like to like butt heads with my guests for fun because, like I say,
Do
I feel like
it. You're giving me an easy
I can't,
life. Do
I
it.
can't, I can't disagree with anything that you're saying. It's too hard.
That's not
It's,
okay. No.
it's too
Try me. Do something.
I'm like literally like I'm having like a tough time like debating anything you're saying. Like
Sorry.
how how can I how can I say that like Empower is not a good mission or whatever? But
No, it's a great
oh my
mission, but I
goodness.
have so much I have so much more to do.
So what? Let me challenge you here. Ready? Here's a little bit of a challenge for you. What are your
Yeah.
goals that you're not doing already? Right? You're already doing so much. So what more can you
I want to
possibly
do more
do?
events, more like physical events where I can attend and speak to them and see them and, I don't know, just hug them. I want to do more events, which takes a lot of time. And unfortunately, I don't have much time, but I really want to, invest the time there. And I want to get to like events in all over the world. Europe, there's a lot of Israelis there, Canada, Los Angeles, all over, all over. I want to just spread all over and have these physical events where we can hug each other and help each other and motivate each other. For me, that's my biggest goal. Also, one thing that I'm very, very passionate about is to connect not religious people to religious people, to connect these
Mm,
worlds, because I see myself, most of my clients are not religious, and
mhm,
they're like a family to me. I don't feel any different from them. So it's to show that we can be united. We can love each other. I know there's a lot of conflict in Israel between the non-religious and the religious. They feel like, we're not different. We're not different. We're one heart, one nation, Am Echad, Lev Echad. So that's like my biggest goal, to just like connect them. And it's okay. You could still be who you are and still love the next, the person in front of you, even though it doesn't have the same lifestyle as you. So
mhm,
that's something that means a lot to me. And especially in the religious world, to just like show them anything is possible for them. Anything.
mhm,
You can still be religious and be out there and be super successful and make a lot of money. Money's not, you don't have to be ashamed of saying that. A lot of women have this like, they're shy to talk about money. They shy, but no, money is so spiritual. You could do so many great things with it. Um, so yeah.
So I gotta ask you. So you're doing very well in real estate. Obviously, Empower is going to grow. It's going to be global. Knowing you, like you've already done so much with it. It is going to grow. And as someone I mean, the name of the show is Schmoozing Time, right? We have to talk about networking and personal branding and meeting people and how you present yourself. That's a big part of the show, Jewish identity and the personal branding aspect. So for somebody like you that's met literally hundreds, if not thousands of people, and whether that's meeting them virtually like this or meeting them in a room, the biggest thing that I've kind of noticed whenever I'm doing interviews like this or when I meet people at work or in person is your first impression is probably the biggest thing that matters, at least to me, right? And we can maybe debate this a little bit, but when you're walking into a room with somebody and they notice how you present yourself, how you shake your hand, that's a part of who you are and how you promote yourself, and it all ties really into your personal brand. So Kai, when you walk into a room, whether it's a business deal or you're walking into an Empower event or you're walking into your own home, what's the first thing you do to make yourself presentable and also give people the impression of who you really are?
So you said something very powerful, who you really are. A lot of people, most people, not aware, and they're trying to be someone else. They go into a business meeting and they're like, okay, I have to be proper, I have to be this, I have to be professional, I have to, and they go so nervous trying to be
Right.
someone else that they're not, that they're missing the point. And the other side feels it. It's the energy. It's not the way you talk, it's not what you're saying, it's your energy, your frequency. You know that energy is
Yes.
something that you can't explain.
Yes.
So when I go into a business meeting, when I go into a room, I make sure to just be myself. And automatically you go in and like you're very relaxed, okay? And when I'm meeting people, the first things that I'm doing is asking them questions. People love to talk about themselves. They love it.
Yes.
So, being that I'm myself, I'm just coming here with a big smile, shaking the hand. Hi, nice to meet you. And then, give them a compliment and then start asking questions about themselves, about their company. And just be very like open, very real. Leave the ego outside the room. And it's something that it's hard to do. It's hard to do, but you get used to it. You leave your ego
Yes.
outside the room. And it's just being you. I remember I was in Israel a few months ago for a very, very important meeting with a big family office. They invest a lot. And I was sick. I was really sick. And I didn't know what to do because, I flew special. It cost a lot of money. I can't just say, hey, I'm sick. We
Right.
have a very important meeting. I
Right.
took whatever I needed to take, Advil, this, who knows what. And I walked in with a box of tissues because I needed every second a tissue. I was so sick. And I said that, I walked in, I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm sick. I don't think I'm contagious, but let's just stay apart. But I'm here and let's just do it because, and they were like, they appreciate it so much. They were laughing, oh, I was also sick. Everyone's sick now. It's fine. I'm like, I'm with my tissues, but I'm not, I wasn't trying to hide it. I was just myself. It was the most successful meeting I ever had. Something really great came out of it. But it showed me
Wow.
like, I was like, how did you realize like my potential? I was so sick with my tissues because I was just myself. I didn't pretend to be someone else. So when you walk inside with confidence and people feel like you're complete with who you are and you're not trying to compare yourself, you're not trying to be someone else, they already like you. They want a part of you because people want people around them that are confident. They know who they are because they feel secure. When I'm around people who are confident with themselves and they love themselves, I feel secure. I feel like I'm safe. They're not going to be jealous. They're not going to want to take they're honest. Usually the more, they're honest people. That's it. It's simple, but it's hard.
Yeah.
So I,
I.
I feel like the work is not outside. The work is inside who you really are. Like what triggers you? What's your choices? Like really find out with yourself who you are. And that's you have to take care of that. Like my main thing that I used to do is going to therapy and finding out who I am, what I need to work on. Whenever something happens to me, my husband told me this the other day. He's like, I don't think a lot of people are doing what you do. I was like, what do I do? Every challenge or every situation that's happening to me, I right away go inside and research myself. What did I do here? What was my part? What responsibility can I take? Maybe I did something wrong. Maybe I didn't respond the way I should have. Maybe, like, I'm always checking with myself. I could blame the other side. It's much easier. Oh,
Right.
they're bad people. Oh, what is my part here? What can
Right.
I change? How can I get better? So I feel like the real work is inside. And once you're working on that, again, you're approaching people, you're going into business meetings to meetings differently. It's like a very
Absolutely.
confident impression.
And also one thing that I really like that you said there was you're very open about going to therapy, which I think a lot of people are very closed off by, which that's a very sensitive thing. I understand it. But to be vulnerable like that is something that I personally really resonate with. Just because
100%.
just because when you're going to therapy and you say that and you tell other people, there's likely other people that are going to be in the same boat as you. So it's really
But they're just shy because, again, what is this? It's ego. It
yes,
means I'm not good enough. We're all not good enough. What do you mean? We have work to do here. We didn't come here as a perfect people. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We're all
exactly.
not good enough. We're good at, listen, it's two different things. Our self-esteem should be just because we were born. We worth it. We deserve good, right? We deserve good life. But
Yes,
we have so much work to do. But
absolutely.
still, understanding that everyone is going through stuff, you have to understand, even people that their life looks perfect, there's always something going on because otherwise we wouldn't be here. It's
Right.
good. It means we can develop, we can learn everything.
Right.
Is good. So,
I agree. I agree. Chaya, we could talk literally all day, but I want to get you with one final question. And this is a question I think that's more targeted towards me, and I hope this resonates with the listeners too. So I'm 22. I eventually want to be an entrepreneur. I have a lot of goals in mind. I'm insanely motivated. I'm working my butt off, but I still feel like I'm missing something, whether it's building my brand online or learning how to truly invest in myself or getting in front of the right people or doing the right things. So if you're talking to me or any other young Jewish professional or even high schoolers or even below that, right? Like Jewish people, Jewish Americans now have so much pressure on them to perform well. Like I feel like I have a tremendous amount of pressure just because of how my family has turned out, right? Like there's so many people in my family that are so successful. So I feel like I have to even beat them. So question to you is, what is one piece of advice for me and other people like me to take the pressure off so that I eventually do perform really well and end up successful?
So one thing I can tell you is try to disconnect yourself from the identity you're taking from, who's your family, what's your titles, how much money. Try to like disconnect it and really like try to think who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You as yourself, as a human being, not with your titles, not with your money, not with your family, none of this matter right now. When you're doing this, you really realizing what's your talents, what's your gift that you got from God, and what you can do with this. I can tell you that a lot of people want to be successful and they're getting into a certain industry that it's not necessarily good for them. A lot of people are, want to do real estate. They read a book, they want to be a billionaire. Okay, let's do real estate, but it's not for them. And I see so much frustrations and failures and depression of people that are just not, they don't understand how come we're not successful. We're trying for so many years because it's not for you. It's not accurate to you because you want to do it because your parents, your uncle, you're taking identity from someone else. You need to really disconnect all of it and really try to think, who am I? What's my
Mm-hmm.
mission here? What's my talents? What gift what can I do? What value can I bring to the world? And once you have this answer, you just have to take the first step. You just have to jump.
Okay.
Don't wait to be ready. It's never the right time. Just jump. I did everything before I was ready. I first jump and then I make a plan. I never planned before. Nothing. Not kids, not marriage, not business. I just jump. But I knew who I am. I knew what I want. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't go into being a doctor, even though, I heard that's a lot of money there. No, because I
Right.
can't be a doctor, right?
Right.
I knew what I'm good at. Nothing to do with, and everyone like didn't believe in the beginning. Wow, real estate, it's not for a religious woman. It's not for you. Just go have a degree. What are you're dreaming. You're a dreamer. You're an illusion. Everyone. I didn't care. I didn't care. I really didn't care because I felt that's the right thing to do, and I just jumped. That's it. And you fall, and you get up, and you fall again. But that's eventually that's who you are. So you're gonna be successful in this because that's who you are. Um.
So good.
So yeah.
I don't think you could have answered that question any better, Chaya. That was, I mean, personally, I think that's the answer that I'm looking for, and I hope listeners are also
I
looking
hope
for
so.
that
And
one.
and don't be, use manage your fears. Don't take life too seriously. Just life. It's over.
Right,
It's gonna be over soon.
right,
Just,
right.
go for it. Go for it.
Exactly.
Worst
Yo,
case, what's gonna happen? You're gonna fail. So what?
yeah,
So what? What's
exactly,
gonna happen?
exactly.
Nothing.
Um, Chaya, where can people find out more about you on social media, your Empower? Like, where can people follow you to keep up with your story?
Mostly Instagram, but also LinkedIn. And you can post, I could guess you can post the links of my Instagram, LinkedIn.
Yes. Well, you got to update your LinkedIn first because I was
I know. I'm gonna work on it. I promise. Now that you said it, I'm gonna work on it
I
for
love it.
sure.
I like to bully my guests into keeping their social media
You're
up
100%
and running.
right.
I gotta hold them accountable. Like
Yeah,
I'm on my LinkedIn all the time. Like it's really it's an amazing tool. And Chaya,
it is.
thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know you're busy with kids. I know you're running around like crazy. So appreciate you coming on the show. I'm so glad you enjoyed this week's episode of Schmoozing Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. In addition to sharing this episode with someone, make sure you follow on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts. Also, make sure you're following the show on Apple Podcasts and or Spotify. Until next time, keep schmoozing.